With all the holes we've made in the timeline, it was bound to split. 2 to 3 or 2 to a west, just know we'll never quit. 23 full years of questing to base for deaths, but that's a given. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2007. Welcome back to January 10th, 2007. Back here in Polytechnique, knocking this guy out over and over again. There is 92 thieving. An achievement. Halfway there. Because 92 is, in fact, half the experience for 99. It's pretty wild like that. The amount of experience per level is continually increasing here. Next level, 678,000 XP. At least the XP rates here are pretty decent. Level 92, we get pickpocketing Ithel warriors and rogue captains. Neither of those are things yet. I don't think there's really much else in higher level thieving currently. We got to 91 for the last room of Pyramid Plunder. We could already pickpocket elves and gnomes and heroes and all that. Mostly we're here for some money. Got another 271,000 coins. Probably not going to keep doing this after 99 for money, just because it's kind of click intensive. Having to constantly knock out. Pickpocket, pickpocket. Knock them out again. Lure them in here if they get stuck. Pickpocket, pickpocket. Decent XP though. Put on the gear here. Drop the things we don't need. Like all this beer, which is inventory placeholders. It's working. Trying to stop the auto pickpocketing, which really does not help here. And should not be a thing anyways. Anyways. That is our one level we're going to get here. I don't know if we're going to just keep on getting one level per episode here. Highest levels is going to be a lot of thieving to make that happen. But also gets us started here. Just definitely not going to be multiple levels. My goodness. Already doing enough thieving here. I guess that does mean we only have so many episodes left of thieving at the start. We start thinking about what we want to do next. There are more things coming up in updates. So let's start getting towards those, I guess. On January 16th, 2007, got some interface graphical reworks and improvements. Just general graphics on stuff and making things work better. A scroll bar in the magic section. Now it's kind of in all the different sections, so there doesn't need to be a scroll bar. But if you get the interface small enough here, you will still get scroll bars. Makes it work better as they keep on adding more spells and such. The skill guides have been improved in some fashion. Not like this with everything in one section, but just graphical as you look at the different bits and stuff. And this is all kinds of new interfaces that we're using currently. Can't really replicate quite that much. Also, your friends list will now say which world they are on, which could be convenient if you want to stalk them, or just go to their world so you can do stuff more easily without having to ask them every single time. So that's nice. Also get some new wallpapers. Concept art for the Undead graphical reworks coming soon. Tim and Crunchy at the beach. We'll see Tim and Crunchy later. And also a wallpaper with the wise old man and something spooky underneath his desk. What could that be? All sorts of good stuff. On January 22nd, 2007, start with some bug fixes here. The Ring of Stone, which is an onyx ring enchanted, turns you into a rock. And then when you want to stop being a rock, you click the Stop Being a Rock button. Then you're just sitting there, still wielding the Ring of Stone. And if you want to become a rock again, you would have to take off the ring and put it back on to become a rock. So they've changed that functionality to it always becoming unequipped when you click the Stop Being a Rock button. Very similar to the Easter egg ring, because that works the same way. Pretty sure the Ring of Stone is a completely different system now. Not that we're going to be able to get an Onyx right now, especially with the changes to the SAR shops. So we're not going to worry about a Ring of Stone, even if we could get an Onyx. Although with our crafting level, we might not be able to do much else with an Onyx anyways. Would need to get that up quite a bit to make an Amulet of Fury. Anyways, the Fire Cape had a random bug where it was upside down in the inventory icon, so that's been fixed. The inventory icons are just like pictures of the item on the ground or something. So the fact that it was sometimes upside down is quite strange. You can no longer bring your pet cat into Barbarian Assault. Add that onto the list of things stopping you from doing that minigame if you, for some reason, store everything you have on your person at all times, most of the time. Pet cats. That's going to be a thing soon here. That'll be useful. I mean, it's already a thing, but it'll be a thing we can actually deal with. Not right now, though. Some items have become untradeable, potentially due to scams involved with the items, or just they're parts of quests and they shouldn't have been tradable in the first place. There was a lot of weird tradable quest items situations back in Classic. Now, not so much. The items in question were an Eye of Gnome, the Paramaya Inn ticket, skulls, poles, hollow reeds, palm leaves, bad wines, unfermented wines, and the leaf-bladed spear. Leaf-bladed spear is definitely more on the was used for scams side of things. People trying to buy a Guthan's war spear instead of getting a leaf-bladed spear, which is worth much, much less. Nothing that matters to us at all, because we can't trade. Then, going towards the actual update for today. The Zombies, Skeletons, Ghosts, and Mummies graphical rework is here. And where can you see many of these undead? But in the next mini quest, the Lair of Tarn Razalor. Interestingly, found a bug here. The order is not in order, because this is definitely before Cold War. Anyways, requires Haunted Mine, ability to enter Mauritania, which is implied by Haunted Mine, yes, and level 40 Slayer. We have 70, that's perfectly fine. Required items, a Salve Amulet. So that does mean we get to go to the bottom of the Haunted Mine to make a Salve Amulet. Running all over that place. And since we don't have other options, I think we might need to get the mushroom again. But we've already got the rails going the right way at least. So essentially we get to do Haunted Mine again. We'll bring a ball of wool with us, get all the way down there, and get ourselves a Salve Amulet. Doesn't actually look like we need a Salve Amulet, so we're going to skip that part for right now. Hopefully it's fine. The outside area here is looking a little bit darker on the minimap. Potentially some graphical rework changes here. Nothing substantial. This may be a little spookier. Tarn's Lair. Right up there. New area. Yeah. Instead of going down all the various ladders, past all the minecarts and stuff, it's gonna go into Tarn's Lair, where we get attacked by skeletons and zombies and animated things. It's a problem. Enter Tarn's Lair. One thing that we could have done later in 2008 is skip the entire dungeon with a new item. In 2010, the ability to skip the dungeon was removed and then added back. In 2011, it was removed again, and in 2019, it was added back again. So, whether or not you need to actually go through this dungeon depends a lot on whether you have gotten that item and what year is it. For us, it's 2007, so we do need to go through this dungeon, unfortunately. It's full of enemies and traps and multiple paths and levels and nonsense. And also some very, very strange things. There's spikes on the floor. We weren't stand on it, so we're okay. Well, it has some spikes in it, but that's fine. Go around. Dodging the floor traps. At least somewhat. Get hit by the wall traps. Disarm the trap. Go past the trap. Of course, the undead don't care about traps. Sad times. So we can see the wall traps here at all. Just trying to run past things. Getting beaten up. The monsters in here are very, very strange. Their drop tables are just completely out of control, with all sorts of completely random stuff. Just look at this example of one of the things in here. There's multiple different levels of skeletons, different levels of zombies, different bands of each individual different levels drop different random stuff. There's giant skeletons. There's just all these random things from all these random monsters. Unfortunately, a lot of it has turned into salvage, so it's slightly less exciting for us here, since we can't get all sorts of interesting drops. There's still all the other random stuff, though, so there could be something in here of note. Probably not. And there's also the question of how well has this actually been documented, the actual drops that actually exist. So many things. Could be random stuff nobody's bothered to ever find before. Anyways, we also have a bank here. Talk to Odo of a car. Good day. How may I help you? What are you doing here? What is this place? This is a branch of the Bank of Gillinor. We have branches in many towns. And also this dungeon. He's not gonna really mention it. If we try to bank with him, one needs the bank pin, which I guess we could do, since we need to get our money out of our coin pouch here anyways. Yeah. Not too frequently we need to worry about the bank pin. I guess with the costume room and everything, and the money pouch we need to get to, it's still fairly frequent for someone that doesn't use a bank. Anyways, money stack is at 1.9 million coins, which is lovely. We're trying to bank with this guy here. These have nothing in it. And did he spend our money? Nope. Used to cost 100 GP each time you wanted to bank with him. To make this an even more inconvenient banking location. One, it's in this dungeon, way away from anything. Two, it costs money to use it. So if you didn't bring your money with you, you couldn't even use the bank, which is not convenient whatsoever. Now, let's start exploring the dungeon here. All the way over here, on this side, there's two things of interest that we want to go try to see. The question is, how well can we go try to see it? We could just try running past all the traps, disarming them. With all of our thieving and agility, should be mostly fine here. Could use prayer too. Wouldn't be a bad plan. Running, around and over, dodging, searching, sprinting, hoping. The ones on the floor are definitely easier to see. The wall traps are a little bit more awkward. Then there's also problems with things jutting out of the walls, making it so we can't even go that direction. It is a very inconvenient place, Tarn's Lair. What do we get from this? Some random bit of mithril. Lovely. Let's go this way first. Now we're on the upstairs level. Would be nice if the undead would trigger the traps and kill themselves off. That'd be convenient. Can we even get there from here? Looks like this is going to be floor. Where A, we need to get to L, which was M to K. K's over this way. Can we get there? Probably not. I need an actual map of the area more than anything. Where does this go? Oh, there's so many levels. Maybe C. C is back that way. We'll make this work one way or another here. Maybe. Trying to avoid some of the traps. We weren't standing next to it, so we're fine. Getting attacked by everything. All the damage we're taking slowly adds up here. So, maybe slightly aware of that. As long as we're not actively low health, it's mostly fine. Alright. So we're over here. Oh, this is the crazy log trap. That's later. Oh. Wall spikes. Search that. This place is an absolute pain. Even if you wanted to do stuff here, you probably wouldn't want to do stuff here. Where are we at now? I'm gonna go this way. Oh, wall trap. Stabbed in the face. Search it. Keep going. Will we make it through before needing to go and resupply? Potentially. We can also just fight back against the skeletons. Get rid of them. They're not super powerful, as far as defense is concerned, at least. That's okay. It's hard to look at all the different walls at the same time, too. Now we're over here. Where we want to be? Questionable. Might be more upstairs. Maybe upstairs from here? I was trying to get down into the corner here. Where are we at? This goes to here, which goes to here. There's a zombie. Got skeletons and zombies here. Living the dream. That's a floor trap. Anyways. And then through here. And this is another wall trap. Sometimes it seems like they can't get through the traps, so that's convenient. Over here in this room, got some spikes. And a skeleton that comes to life. Neat. Over here in the corner, probably caused by all these spikes on the ground, falling from above, we've got a gnome skeleton. Looks like one of Han Jr.'s deliveries didn't make it on time. And a toad bata. Just a random bit of food spawning in this crazy dungeon. Whoever he was trying to get these to, possibly Tarn himself. This is, in fact, Tarn's lair, of course. But he did not manage to get the toad bata to where it was going. Apparently it was well preserved, since he's a skeleton, and we get the food here. So that's okay. Kinda okay, not really. But anyways, things respawn, we can fight them again. Let's try making our way to where we want to be here. We're now over here in the corner. It's probably in our best interest to make it back towards the start first. Disarm the wall traps. I don't know if we can really avoid this trap here. Using the power of running to not be on the space that actually is. Which is pretty good. Essentially, running makes you move 2 squares, and then you're there. Doesn't seem like the traps do the hugest amount of damage, so at least we got that going for us. It's more of the constantly being attacked is the problem. Right down here. That's these guys. Wall trap. Dangerous place. Let's get the toad baton we found. It's not very good. Sad times. Alright, another skeleton. Get into here. Wall trap. Wall trap. Always need to look at both sides of the walls. Place is a mess. Place is a mess. Alright. We're back to the bank. Which we can't use because we can't use a bank. Also, we have nothing in the bank, so it doesn't actually matter one way or the other. So that's okay. Let's continue forwards in the dungeon. We got multiple ways, multiple skeletons, zombies, nonsense. We're not even worrying about all the random stuff they drop. Trying to keep track of if it's the correct things. Just really, really not worth the trouble. We're just going to avoid that. In this room, we got many different ways we could go. We just keep going. We could look around to see where we actually need to be. We just keep going. This just goes to here. And this looks like a floor trap to fall down. Which doesn't look like the way we want to go. Over this way. There's one of the giant skeletons. You can tell by the way it is. Straight forward to here. More skeletons here. There's a giant skeleton. What else he got? Not too much. About the same as anybody else here, really. Running around. Just dropped big bones, though. That's something. And we're in this room, which is more of a side room. Way down here. Ow. Wall traps. We got wall traps and floor traps aplenty. So we can actually run right over this. Yes, indeed. Now we're up here. This looks like a prime location for some wall traps. Ow. It's the first one. If we don't get the first one, we're gonna have a problem. Wall trap here. Brilliant. Comes a skeleton, we'll fight him. Where are we at? Right place? Probably not. Wall trap there. Any doors up this direction? Yep, there's one. I think we might be on the right path. Ran right into a wall trap. We're into a wall trap again. Here is a room. More of a puzzle than some of the other rooms. This is the hanging log that we saw earlier. If we were foolish enough to try to go in front of this obvious hanging log, it would just knock us off down back into this room. Then we have to go back around. Not really what we want to do. So instead, we're going to be more clever about it and search the trap. Disarm the trap, click. There you go. Hanging log trap. Still does not inspire confidence trying to jump past this, because it's just hanging there, ready to smack us off. Assuming the click deactivated the trap instead of activated it again. A dangerous assumption to make, for sure. Alright, another hallway. Perfect spot for wall traps aplenty. Disarming. Squeezing past. Having a perfectly fine time of it. And now, another trap. The pushers. Lots of similarities to pyramids. We just walk past here. They're definitely not animating the full pushing they're doing. They're definitely here, though. And another instance where you get knocked back down. You have to make your way back around again. Another section where our inability to walk over tiny bits of rubble means we get to jump on these pillars the entire way across. Hup. Hup. And then over on this side we have skeleton mages. Let's protect from magic a bit. We are very susceptible to magic. We've been weakened a little bit. Also not ideal. Because we are going to do some combat here too. And finally jump to this ledge while we're getting battered by skeletons. Although we can hit them because of the halberd range. That's hilarious. Alright. And now we're down below where this was. Unlike the other ones, it would have actually been convenient to get knocked off down to this level, because this is where we actually want to be. But instead you only get pelted by magic, which is not great. Enter the passageway. And we come face to face with Tarn himself. There he is. Who? How did you get here? Never mind, I'll deal with you myself. He casts some kind of spell. Breaks the statues of the terror dogs out. And does a crazy transformation. He's now a muscular, tentacle-backed monster thing. That's pretty wild. That is a wild thing that he has done here. Alright. The fight begins. It's like a boss fight. It's a whole fun time. Protect from melee while we fight off the terror dogs. The new Slayer creature. They've got a drop table. Wild thing to be doing during the middle of a boss fight. Signature drop is the granite helm. Not good. Not gonna worry about that. We've got Mutant Tarn to deal with here. I preferred him when he was human. I'll prefer him when he's dead. Dragon Halberd. Nice big spec there. He also animates some steel armor, which we can also kill. Yeah. He has all sorts of power here. Animation, statuification, or unstatuification, hard to tell. I can't be slain that easily, fool. Alright. Yeah, I said I would like him when he was dead. Now he's dead and he's a ghost. I like him when he's dead and gone. Get out of here. Ghost Tarn. Killing Tarn Reslor, or visit his lair if he's already dead, achievement. And we've killed him. Greatly improve our Slayer knowledge, getting 5,000 XP. And that should be the end of the mini quest here. Or it might be when we go through this last door here and take his diary. Yoink. And that opens up the other cages here, letting out even more terror dogs. Oh boy. Oh, that completes the mini quest. Okay. So when it said we needed the salve amulet, that was a lie. We just get Tarn's diary here, which has the ability to enchant salve amulets. And the enchant is pretty good. Previously, the regular salve amulet was a 16.67% melee damage and accuracy boost, which later was changed to 15%, but we're not going to worry about that. The bonus for doing the whole enchanting here makes it 20% melee damage and accuracy. And the melee is still good for us, since we mostly melee. Eventually, it'll be able to be used with all styles. Well, that's not until 2014. So, there's that. Anyways, here is Tarn's diary, which we can read. Let's see what this Madman was up to down here. The 4th of Benath. That's a month. One of them, at least. All my long hours of research have finally paid off. Today I discovered an ancient journal in the Great Library, which detailed a ceremony for giving life back to greater beasts after they have died. Shall finally be able to unravel the secrets of the skeletal wyverns. They are, in fact, giant undead skeleton wyverns. That's definitely something to be looked into. 18th of October. Spent over a month studying the spell of greater animation now. My studies have led me to believe that although this spell is more powerful than any I have ever encountered, and will indeed reanimate the skeletons of long-dead dragons and such creatures, it does not provide any way of controlling them. Whoever devised this spell must have been insane, because without someone to control them, these undead monsters would have been free to destroy everything that they encountered. No wonder the spell was hidden away in the Great Library. There is, however, a reference to an amulet of such power that any undead creature would tremble before someone wielding it. I must return to the library and see if I can find any further reference to this magical amulet. Once I have it and can create and control undead dragons, even Lord Draken and his minions shall tremble before my might. 29th of October. I spent nearly 2 full weeks searching the Great Library for a reference to the writings that I need, with no success. Soon I shall be forced to start searching through the tomes and grimoires page by page. 8th of Pentember. I found a reference to the crystal. This morning, while reading the histories of Mauritania, happened upon this extract. And so our mighty ruler ordered the mines to be sealed forever, and all those who slaved in the mines to be slain. Only by doing this could we seal away the threat of the accursed shard for all time. I suspect this accursed shard to be the crystal that I seek. The next course of action must be to discover where these mines that are mentioned can be found. And that was, in fact, here, the haunted mine, and the shard at the bottom of it. More information on that story here. 10th of Pentember. Once again, the Great Library has provided the answer. I found an ancient map that shows a series of mines in southwestern Mauritania, on the River Salve. These mines are not shown on modern maps. It must be the place I seek. Tomorrow, I shall go and find them. 11th of Pentember. Today has been a hard day. We traveled south through desolate swamps, which were infested with ghasts. Many of my servants and soldiers fell to these creatures, but I have granted them eternal life as the undead, so they may continue to serve me. Oh, how nice. And 12th of Pentember. This morning we found out that all our food spoiled overnight. We need to hunt for food today, as we continue our trek southwards to the mines. I will be only too pleased to see the end of these accursed swamps. 16th of Pentember. At last we have reached the mines. All my human companions have perished, but I have animated their corpses, and now have servants aplenty to do my bidding. Just wish they weren't all so stupid. This afternoon we shall search for the entrance to the mines. 17th of Pentember. It's been an eventful morning. The day started with us finding a madman wandering in the area, also searching for an entrance to the mine. Tricked him into telling me where the original entrance was, and there my zombie minions soon found a way into the mines themselves. I feel very powerful magic at work here, possibly even stronger than my own. In an attempt to find the source of this magic, I shall spend this afternoon preparing and casting spells of location and scrying. Indeed, truest death is down here. 18th of Pentember. I have seen the crystal that I seek. However, it's guarded by by a spirit of extreme power. Shall my undead create a small dungeon, will be safe from attack, and I shall send them forth to slay this fell spirit. Sure that even one as powerful as that will fall to the numbers of undead that I can summon. So he couldn't go out and just go defeat Trusdanth himself. So he built this entire dungeon, which is just full of all of his undead servants, and needs to go and deal with Trusdanth. 19th of Pentember. Work began on the passage to my suite of rooms. My slaves work hard when work is as simple as this, and we made excellent progress. One thing of interest is that we found some strange stone blocks of a design that I have not seen before. I may study them further when I have more time available. 20th of Pentember. They would excavate the entrance to a building. I don't recognize the style of masonry used, but the creators must have been about the same height and girth as I am, judging by the size of the doorways and staircases. It was fraught with traps, but will make a fine base for me to wait whilst my army of undead retrieve a piece of the salve crystal. So, didn't actually make this place. Found it. Dug out the way to the entrance hole. I have several theories pertaining to the origin of this strange temple. If I'm correct, we are deep underground, directly below the village of Berg de Rot. Maybe this temple was built as a fortification against an invasion from the desert nomads who live to the west of here. Alternatively, perhaps it was built at the request of one of the lesser vampire lords who ruled this area when Draken came to power. However, I believe that it was probably built to guard an ancient treasure. My reasoning is thus: there doesn't seem to be any type of altar that we have found yet, and the temple's littered with traps. Further research may reveal an answer. In the meantime, I've enchanted this diary of mine with the spell needed to enhance the powers of the crystal. Await my minion's return. Okay. That's the end of the diary here. Apparently, could have been some treasure in here. Doesn't seem they ever particularly found it, since we didn't find any additional treasure. Just a massive place full of traps and confusion. Well, that's okay. We got our own treasure here. The ability to enchant the salve amulet for ourselves, if we wanted to. Requires the Tarn's Diary to use. And if we destroy it, we have to come back and get it here, which is slightly unfortunate. Not currently interested in fighting the undead a whole bunch. So the Amulet of Glory is better against non-undead. We're just gonna keep it with that for now. Fighting the undead with a salve amulet is actually a pretty solid method for training. It's one of the few things that just straight up gives you free bonus damage and accuracy. So it's pretty nice. And we destroy it, and it should be on the table here, but we need to leave and come back. So this gives us access to the new room. Oh, there's somebody fighting terror dogs here. That is the most unlikely thing I've ever seen. New room with terror dogs. This one drains your prayer while you're in here, which is wildly inconvenient. And we go back through here. There's the diary again. So yeah. If we want to make our salve amulet, we're going to need to come all the way back in here. Well, first we need to go all the way to the bottom of the haunted mine to get the shard. And then we need to come all the way through Tarn's Lair to get the diary. Definitely something we would need to actually want to do quite a bit. For now, we're fine. And that was a bit of an adventure here. I think that'll be good for now. Also trying to stack up some episodes here, pre-recorded. I have some plans a little bit in the future, which would benefit greatly from having a nicely sized backlog, just because of timing of various things. Yeah, that was definitely enough of something. We'll be back for an actual quest next time. Goodbye.